Welcome back to this edition of the Notes versus Alternative Investment Series Part 5, Notes versus Multifamily. In this video, we'll take a look at how notes stack up to multifamily properties and how when compared side by side, there seems to be a big winner because of the limitations and liability that come with one of these investments. Since there are more doors with multifamily dwellings, we'll compare multiple notes versus multiple doors. Now you may be saying, it seems you've already made up your mind, but as you'll soon see, and in concert with this series, we're looking at the sum of its parts. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is calculate the net operating income that multifamily units will produce in order to compare the two. We need to calculate the income you'll receive from all of the units based on the number of doors and local area rent averages. Then we'll deduct 50% of that to cover the expenses for upkeep, marketing, and other aspects of managing a multifamily property, which is industry average. Finally, we need to deduct the expected monthly mortgage amount from what you have left and see what remains. Next, let's look at the 3 things you'll need to know when dealing with multifamilies. 1. Buying a multifamily property will limit your location options. You need to make sure your property is in a good location in order to keep it rented. 2 is tax complexity. It would take too long to go too far into this topic, but if you want a bit more information, you can look into the IRS regulations regarding investment properties. There are many factors that would-be investors are unaware of when looking into these types of investments. 3. Financing a multifamily property can be problematic even if you live in one door and take the rental income from the other doors into consideration. This strategy works if done correctly, but all the aforementioned factors need to be considered in order to keep you from losing money. Of course, there are other factors that you need to consider as well, like dealing with the terrible tease of rentals, or dealing with the fallout of vacancies and their effect on your cash flow. Not to mention the funds needed to get the unit back into a showable state. While these are 3 of the most widely known factors when dealing with multifamily properties, the biggest factor of all is that you're buying at market value with no discounts. So let's take a look at what notes have to offer. 1. Notes can be bought in bulk. In fact, no insiders are aware that buying in bulk gives us more discount, so buying more doors gives us a higher yield on our investment. This basically means the more you buy, the more you save. Remember, by purchasing notes in bulk, you can get even more of a discount because you can acquire notes and mini pools, if this strategy fits your investment profile. 2. We'll certainly compare locations as with our multifamily properties, but with notes, we are able to acquire multiple doors, just like multifamily. But they can be spread throughout the country, thereby spreading out our risk. So location isn't an issue with notes, and you can diversify your portfolio and compartmentalize any issues that may arise. This also helps keep your investment portfolio safe. 3. When it comes to comparing tax complexities, notes are looked at as personal property. This takes the complexity of real estate tax law out of the equation. Again, this topic is far too deep to cover in this video, but notes are definitely more streamlined and easier to keep track of. And 4th, the qualification process is more streamlined with notes, making them more accessible to more investors and allowing you to optimize your assets with smaller, more controlled investment dollars. The biggest takeaway from this video should be that investing in a pool of notes allows an investor to diversify their capital by purchasing notes over a wide variety of markets, thereby giving notes more diversity and flexibility than by purchasing multiple doors of multifamily units. At the end of the day, if you happen to get stuck with a few notes that aren't performing, a note investor has far more options when it comes to notes, versus an investor who gets stuck with multifamily units that are vacant. So there you have it. Once again, we think there's a clear winner by investing with notes. We hope you liked this educational series of notes versus alternative investments to help you see why notes are part of building true generational wealth. Thanks for watching.